England are in the final of the Euros, and before Robbie gets a chance to say I told you so, here's a word from Parimatch UK. Is football really coming home? Well, it could be, and get excited because our friends over at Parimatch UK are now offering new customers the chance to get England to win against Spain at a massive 50-1 in the final. To claim this offer, simply create a Parimatch UK account, opt into the promotion, and then place a bet at the normal price on England to win within 90 minutes. These enhanced odds apply to a max £1 stake, and the enhanced odds are paid in free bets. For example, if you bet £1 and your bet wins, you get your stake and normal winnings paid back in cash, plus £49 in free bets. Remember guys, you must be 18 plus and a UK resident, and full terms and conditions apply, with all the links you need in the description below. A huge thank you to Parimatch UK for sponsoring this video. Big thanks to Parimatch UK. All right.
No, I'm not going to say I told you so,
fine.
because I've said that in enough videos.
Okay.
Right, I've had people apologising to me for all the people who called me deluded when I said that England will make it to the final. I told you the side of the group that they're on, you know, favoured England. So I just had a, you know, I knew they'd make it. So it's great that they're there. I'm looking forward to England-Turkey. It's going to be a fantastic game.
Another one.
Oh, didn't they make it?
Going to make another thumbnail now, you know.
Didn't they make it?
Another one's going to catch feelings of the AFTV group. That is what it is.
Hey. Now, listen, you know what? Unlucky, man. I feel sorry for Turkey. I think Turkey, they just run out of steam. That's all it was. You know what I mean? They put so much into that game against Austria. I just felt at the end of that game that they played against Netherlands, which they were brilliant in, they were just knackered.
Yeah.
But you can be proud of what they did.
Yeah, 100%.
England make it to the final, and look, credit where it's due. I think they did it in a bit of style. I thought England were the better team against the Netherlands. I think they
100%.
played good football. I thought the combinations, the balance was better. I thought Southgate's subs were really good. Not just bringing on Watkins and he scores. I thought generally he made the subs pretty brave to take off Kane and Foden when it looks like you're heading to extra time. He got the balance right when you got Shaw on. It wasn't the perfect performance, but it's a difficult situation, a semi-final against the Netherlands, and England did well, Turkish.
They did. And Robbie's right, the side of the draw they was on, they've done what they've needed to do so far, and now it comes down to a 90-minute game. But against Netherlands, that was their best performance of the whole tournament. And if you can get it to click in a semi-final going into a final, then it's perfect timing, because they're coming up against the best team throughout the tournament, a team that's maintained the levels throughout. Obviously Netherlands knocked that 2K, but I wasn't too impressed with them anyway. Their second goal was a foul, wasn't VAR checked, nothing much made of it, but and their keeper made a great save at the end. I think that was a pretty tight game. So against England, with the quality England possess, and there's a feeling around England, listen, they haven't played well throughout the tournament, but they just keep on grinding out the results, getting it done well, one way or another, extra time, penalties, in the 90, they've managed to do it now again since the first game. Maybe it's destiny that they go on to win it. Maybe they're the Italy going into this final, where they're not the favourites, they're the underdogs. Maybe they have to do what Italy did to England a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, before we talk about the game, how it could play out, Robbie, I think we've got to say a few words on Gareth Southgate, because I saw some of his interviews, I saw his reaction at full time when he was saying one more to the England fans. This is a guy, and he's acknowledged it, who's had a lot of criticism, and I'll put my hands up. I'm absolutely one of them. For 6 years, since he's been England manager, I've never been convinced, and I've never had a problem saying it. But sometimes you need to stop and, message to myself, stop worrying about XG and field tilt and possession and all these things, and actually look at what he's achieved, which is a semi-final in the World Cup at his first attempt, 2 finals at the Euros now, knocked out by France. I thought we were really good in the World Cup. And yes, England, with all the talent they've had, haven't always been the easiest to watch, but football's a results-based business, and actually it's not a fluke when you do it not just once but 4 times.
No, it's not a fluke. Maybe we don't like his methods, maybe we think he should be playing better football, but it's effective. And you look at Didier Deschamps at France, he's sort of done it in a similar way, in that he's never, he gets a lot of criticism in France for not entertaining, but he's got things that he's won. I mean, that's the only thing. Southgate ain't won things. But when you compare him to what we've had before, we won in '66. That's a very long time ago. We won the World Cup, which was played in England, by the way. And after that, I think 1 semi-final. And then he's come along, like you said, multiple semi-finals, 2 finals now. You can't argue with that record, man. That's an unbelievable record. I think it's just the style. The style, we look at the players we've got, we're like, and I have been a bit annoyed with him in this tournament, because I keep looking on that left-hand side and saying, we need a bit of balance there. Why don't you play Gordon? But I think in that semi-final, the balance was better. We saw Foden not out on that left-hand side, but where he plays well, which is more central. And even when he took Foden off, notice he didn't take Saka off. He put Cole Palmer in that position, which is where he's best at as well. So he's finally clicking. But sometimes in a tournament, it's about how you grow into the tournament, what you learn as you go along, and then getting it right at the right times. And the right times is now. All these teams that play great football, they're out.
Yeah, very
Apart
true.
from Spain, obviously, but they're all gone, right? And I think we got a chance, and we got great players, and I've been very happy with how our two Arsenal boys have performed for England. I think they've done brilliantly. I mean, listen, Rice did make a big error. That was his mistake for the first goal that Simon scored. That was a great finish, by the way. But what I loved about Rice in that game, and this is the character of this guy, is that a lot of other players, their game would have fallen apart. It's a big moment, pressure, semi-final. You've made a bad error that could cost your country. Big consequences on it. He just played his normal game after that. He was still brave. He was still doing all the stuff that he normally does. So I thought he really recovered well from that. And then Saka, possibly one of apart from the defenders like Gay and that, but out of the forward players, I'd suggest he's been our most consistent forward player in the tournament.
I think so. That was going to be my question to you, actually, Turkish. Bukayo Saka, once again, being put at right wing back. We know all the big debates about left back, left this or whatever, but actually Southgate did tweak his position. But credit to him, he's done it in a way where when England have the ball, you still got Saka in the areas you want him. Without the ball, he puts in a proper shift. Again, Southgate talked about it in his press conference, but this is a player that even if he is playing right wing, he's giving his all to get back and help. And his talent mixed with his work rate, you've got a player who I think is proving England's most important player, if not one of them.
Definitely one of them, without a shadow of a doubt. I just don't understand how his name's always called into question when it comes for quality debates, because whether it's down to quality from the right wing or whether it's down to the ability to play multiple positions, Saka's a top 3 player for England. And I'm not just saying that based off of club form. We can look at his England form over international tournaments, the last, now 3 of them.
Yeah.
And listen, this hasn't been a great tournament for England's attack. So a lot of people will say, oh, well, being England's most consistent attacker isn't the greatest of plaudits. But at the same time, he's got a vital goal. He's same with Bellingham. These men have scored vital goals to get England where they are, because it hasn't been a great tournament, but these players, including Saka, have managed to pull it out the bag when it's mattered most.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Maybe it's because he's an Arsenal player, but his name's always called into doubt. But you know what? For us Arsenal fans, it makes him a better player. We've seen it time and time again over the years. Anytime he's questioned, anytime he's doubted, he comes back stronger. So if he's going to come back stronger from this next season, so be it.
Yeah, I hear it. Let's talk about the game in more detail. England versus Spain, 2 teams that have made it in different ways. I mean, you've got to admire Spain, conceding to Georgia, turning it around with a big win, beating Germany, the home country, who I thought were one of the better teams there, then beating France with everything they've done since 2016 as well, making multiple finals, winning the World Cup. Spain have had a real glory run to the final. England, it's been a little bit more touch and go. A lot of late goals in there, a lot of falling. I think we've fallen behind in every knockout game, actually. But they've shown character in a different way. I think this is where, for everything I've said about Southgate and actually appreciating the good work he has done, he's a good guy. I want him to do well or whatever. The criticism may still hold weight if let's say if the football catches up a little bit. And what I mean is, what is supposed to happen, whatever that means, actually happens on the day, which is Spain play the football they've been playing and win, and England play the football they've been playing, although better in the semi-final, and it's just not enough, because we've got the talent to match Spain. I just don't think we've got the identity as a football team and the maybe quality. We're not coached well enough. Maybe that's where my doubts come in, Robbie.
Well, listen, no doubt Spain the best team in the tournament. They play brilliant football. I've enjoyed watching them every single game. But that doesn't always win you the finals.
Totally agree.
I mean, finals are cagey affairs. Finals, can be different. England are more experienced in finals than this Spanish team. It's quite a young team.
Yeah, I hear it.
England got a lot of options off the bench, as we saw the other night. Ollie Watkins, they've had Ivan Toney come and make an impact. Cole Palmer. Listen, they have got options. Marino came on the other day and scored that great goal for Spain. But I think that this is a very, very close game. England got to get a handle on Yamal and Nico Williams. Everything comes through those wide players, and they can be devastating. But I think England have got some devastating players of their own. And this is going to be a very close game. You know what I mean? You can't just look at what they've done so far. This is the final. Anything can happen. The final of the FA Cup, Man City versus Man United, nobody gave United a chance. But United have got quality players, despite how poor they've been last season. And some of those quality players stepped up on the day. And I think England, I definitely think they can do it. You know what I mean? So, and you can argue they've been growing into the tournament. That was a good. They played very well in that first half against the Netherlands.
Yeah, they did,
very well.
Yeah.
You know, so they've got it in them. They're going to have to play very, very well to beat the Spanish team. But I do think they can beat them. Spain give up chances. That last game against France had about 3 big chances to equalise in that game.
Yeah.
Mbappe, that one where he blazed over the bar. I think it was Kula Mawani had one, Dembele. I remember when they played Germany, some big chances. Remember Fulkrug at the end there?
Yeah.
So they do give chances.
Yeah.
I think if you give those chances to Harry Kane, Saka, Bellingham, these guys, they're more likely to take it than some of the players that we saw in some of the other games. So
Yeah, it's a fair point. It's a fair point.
this game is not a foregone conclusion. Yes, Spain are the favourites. I'm fancying England to win it. Yeah.
Okay, well, predictions soon, and we've got an idea for what you're going for there. What about the tactical matchups here, Turkish? I mean, we know Yamal and Williams are a massive threat. They've got real pace. When you've got the class and quality you have in midfield, to have that run and that drive from out wide, I think adds a lot. Morata, experienced players, having a good tournament. But what do you think England do to try and stop some of those talents and actually ensure that they get a foothold in the game and not spend the whole time worrying about what Spain do?
You mentioned the wings, but Rodri's there as well, who's the hub of it all. So I think the best method.
Does he deserve a Ballon d'Or shout, Rodri? I know I've just completely swung in a different direction,
Spain,
but
Yes.
yeah, I mean, if Spain win it as well, especially, then he's
because it never really goes to the Rodris of the team, but he's been
Cannavaro's
unbelievable.
probably the one over the years that stands out because he's a defender. But I think Rodri. So I think if England can somehow get hold of the midfield, which is easier said than done because Spain's midfield is little Ruiz as well. They've been quality.
Yeah.
They've been quality. Marino coming on here and there.
Almost goal the other day.
Almost quality. So if England can win the midfield battle, that'll go a long way. And at the end of the day, look, Robbie said Spain are favourites, and they're favourites because of form. But if we're talking about hype, expectation, if we're talking about quality amongst the ranks, then England are up there, if not favourites, if we're not taking form into account. England have got an abundance of quality. And going back to what you said about Southgate, it's his time to prove it now, because any time in major tournaments England have come up against a team where it's but your favourites, Belgium a couple of times, Italy in the final last time, Croatia I think once as well, stumbled. This time, listen, Spain have been the most informed team in the competition by 90 minutes, and England's heritage footballing wise is putting your heart on the line, passion, desire, determination, everything that's kind of gone from football now with the systems. And if they lean a bit towards that, because Spain, you're never going to technically live up to and go toe to toe with Spain. You're not. They're masters of that art. So bring back what art you've mastered, and I think some of that, that bullish kind of mentality that England have done well with in the past. Obviously, the World Cup, there's famous images of what's his name, Butcher with the head wrap and blood all over the game, and we've seen that with Ince as well in the 90s and so on. Lean a bit on that side of things, because technically Spain are far superior.
So they've got a good midfielder, England now. I was watching it the other day. Mainu, quality. Declan Rice is sort of our Rodri, and then you've got Foden. If you play him there, look at him in the first half the other day. That was the Foden that we see at Man City, right? Play him in there in that position. I'm not saying it's as good as their midfield, but it's close. So
if any DM in the tournament knows Rodri best, knows Foden best, it's Rodri.
It's Rodri, true. But honestly, that matchup is a good matchup.
If I'm an England fan, Yamal Trippier is the one that
worries me.
What a player at 16, unbelievable. But like you said, England got some quality players. I want to just talk from the Arsenal perspective. We're here outside the Emirates. We're excited to have the boys playing back here again. What will it do for Rice and Saka to lift this competition? I mean, you can easily say nothing. They win it with England and on they go. But we've been saying that we want we want our Arsenal players to experience winning trophies, lifting silverware, getting it over the line. And yes, it won't have been in an Arsenal shirt, but it's just important for Rice and Saka to feel like we're winners, no? Isn't that important? As Rice did with West Ham, may I say, he has won a trophy with them. But yeah, go on.
I personally think, like sometimes we have this club versus country thing. Right, and you'll hear a lot of fans saying, you know what, I remember Julian was saying to me, I want us to go out as early as possible, get them back. I don't always think that's a good thing. I think if you are a player if Rice and Saka win the Euros, those players feel like they're on another level. It must give you a lift to say, I'm one of the best players around. So, look at this tournament. We all knew how good Saliba was, yeah? Every Arsenal fan knew. A lot of other fans around the world probably thought, yeah, he support other clubs. Like, yeah, he seems all right. The Arsenal fans are always yapping out about him. Now they've all seen him. That for Saliba will give him more confidence, will make him grow more, like he's going to be an even better player now, I feel. So the confidence it gives you when you go and you win a major tournament like this, you can carry that back through to your club as well. So I think it would be game-changing for those two. They're already top players. I think people start talking about you and putting you in the world-class. They don't even doubt it, innit? They'll be like, Saka, you're world-class. Rice, you're world-class. You know what I mean? So it's very, very important for them. And also the disappointment they've had of not getting over the line in previous tournaments. I'd love them to do it, especially for them too.
Yeah.
Just for them to have that, we did it, we got over it, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Predictions, people. Turkish.
Spain 3-1.
Oh. Robbie.
It's cold, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
Bastard.
nasty work.
I think England 2-1. I'm going for England 2-1. I think it's coming home.
Do you know what? I think Southgate might just do it,
Yeah.
I'm going to go 1-0 England.
Could be a 1-0.
I think it will be 10.
No goals for Spain though.
Crazy.
I think they'll score.
England defended really well all tournament. If there's one thing they've actually done well, it's defend. I think. Yeah,
against Slovakia, Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia.
Yeah, they all scored. But you get my point. No, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I also think when you know what you're facing, you have that little bit more concentration, a better setup back there.
I can also see
I'm going to go
penalties
for 1-0
well.
England. Yeah, I don't think there'll be a lot of goals.
Penalties, I fancy us.
Yeah.
We're actually good at penalties though, man.
I'm talking between that and a 1-1 in England on pens, but I think England are going to win it. Look, before we wrap up, there are two players, one on each bench, that will obviously be interested in keeping an eye on. Yeah?
Yeah, Raya and Ramsdale.
What? I was talking about Marino and Eze. And of course, we've been linked with them. Go check out the In Focus. That is out very soon. I broke them both down and compared Marino and Eze. See how I thought
Did you rather? Or shall I save it for your...
Do you know what?
Did you say you rather?
I didn't, but we'll have it on Talking Transfers. So this will be out after a live Talking Transfers. 3 of us will be on it. If you missed that, go and watch it. We'll be debating who we'd rather of the two. And of course, Raya and Ramsdale. Just take a week off and then join us on tour, please. Everyone, hope you've enjoyed this. Let us know your score predictions and what it would mean to Saka and, of course, Rice. And look, we have Raya. Obviously, we want him to be a winner, but those two players in particular would be amazing if they got the win. Hit the like button.
If Spain won, Mikel Arteta, he'll be a happy man,
good.
Nah, he'd be more.
What's that going to do?
You lot are saying Saka Rice. Arteta's about as well.
He's a Basque.
True.
Arteta will see that and just
Catalan.
impulsively spend 100 million on Isak. Fair enough. Everyone hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to AFTV and let us know in the comments your thoughts and everything. Big thanks to Paramount UK once again.